Well, hello there. I'm Nusha, also known as Ferocious and Pretty Pens, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to all things related to fountain pens, fountain pen inks, hand lettering, penmanship, artsy fartsy things, or whatever the frick I feel like filming at the present moment. If you're returning, I'm so glad you're here for more of this and other tomfoolery and shenanigans. This video is going to be episode 2 of Artsy Fartsy Time with your fountain pens, inks, and other tools. After I posted the last Artsy Fartsy Time and we did the Zentangle paradox, if you haven't seen it, I will post a link up here. The paradox was in this sketchbook, and when I showed it, there were a couple of people in the comments that were like, ooh, do a flip through. So this video is going to be exactly that, a flip through of this art sketchbook, ink book, whatever we're gonna call it, doohickey. And since there are 97, exactly 97 drawing sketches, pieces in here, I'm gonna break this up in 2 to 3 videos so that it's not too long, because ain't nobody got time for that. The other thing that I'll mention is during this flip through, if there is a specific piece that you see that you want me to do a tutorial on or a recreation of with all of my tools and steps, put it in the comments with a timestamp. Tell me what part of the video the piece was, and I will make an effort to film that specific piece. Let's begin the flip through. This is a 68 GSM Tomato River dot grid notebook in the A5 size. This is specifically from Oooooo Designs, and it's called the Enigma. When you receive it like this. The cover also came from Oooooo Designs, and the reason I picked this one instead of some of the ones that you might see on the market today is that years ago when I started this notebook, 68 GSM Tomato River paper in notebooks like this was pretty much non-existent. This was the only company that was really doing it. And so I bought multiples of these, and as you can see, I still have plenty of pages left to go through in this one. Everything that is in this notebook uses fountain pen ink in one way or another. Whether it's out of a fountain pen, using a paintbrush, a water brush, and sometimes I do use gel pen in here too, but it's pretty clear where I do some of those fancy-ish schmancy things. What you'll see is the designs go from being not so pleasing to the eye and kind of janky looking to getting more together and visually pleasing. This is important because when you start doing stuff like this, it takes some time to understand what looks good and what's visually pleasing and what's not. So if you choose to start something like this, do not get discouraged. Ow. Don't get discouraged. I'm being really forceful about it because it's okay. We all have to start somewhere. The key is being brave enough to take a pen to paper and just trying something. Nobody other than you has to see it if you don't like it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's having the courage to just do it. All right, now that I've been forceful and I've said my piece and had you at my TED Talk or whatever, let's actually do the flip through. The first few pages of this is just an index so I can keep track in an easy visual way as to the pens and inks that I've used. What I tried to do with this notebook is that every single ink that I own should have some sort of a drawing in here. If I have enough of a sample left over, I will also represent it in this notebook with a drawing. So let's just get started. Let me bring you in and we can, as I smack the camera. Some of these are Zen doodles, so there's no rhyme or reason to what they look like, and some of them are actual Zen tangles. The ones that are doodles or tangles, I couldn't tell you. You will see on this side the actual ink and the pen that I used, so from here I am just gonna play some really awesome elevator music, and we're gonna flip through this thing. In certain instances I may stop and add a little bit of color to what you're seeing, so let's go. Oh, before I start the music. There are certain inks like this. This is Krishna Inks See at Night that are really saturated and super sheeny. In these instances, I put a piece of tracing paper in between the pages to prevent transfer and smudging. So in case you see some of these, that's all it is. It's nothing special, it's just tracing paper. Let's start the music. This is a perfect example of doing a pattern and completely messing it up in the middle. I didn't measure this correctly, so when I got to the middle, I started on one side and started on the other side, and then when I got to the middle, it just kind of got really weird. So it is what it is, it happens. To stop here and say something about this specific piece. So this is using one of my favorite inks, Robert Oster Fire and Ice. When I posted this, when I was pretty new to the fountain pen hobby, Rickshaw Bags saw it and asked if they could put it on one of their pen rolls. And this is probably one of the favorite things that I have in my pen accessory collection. I used to use this all of the time for travel. It has really nice fleece lining to prevent your pens from getting all scratched up, and each pen has a specific place to go, and yeah, I still plan on using this when I can travel again. I would put this upright in my Tumi travel bag that would go underneath the seat that was in front of me when I would fly to keep my pens from burping and leaking. This is where I started first incorporating water brushes into my designs, and I went a little bit crazy with this. Quizzy Honey is a really saturated ink, and I went a little overboard with adding the water, and it looks a little different than how I would do this today if I was using the same ink. The other thing I'll mention is that Quizzy inks have a really strong vanilla smell, and it's been years now since I first did this, and the smell is completely gone.
This was me trying to figure out how the frick to do the paradox pattern for the first time. So as you can see, even I took a little time trying to figure out which way to go for it to be correct. I had some goof ups. It just takes a minute to understand how to do it.
And that wraps up part 1 of the flip through. Now back to you in the studio, Nusha. Thanks, Nusha, out in the field. I don't know why I'm talking about myself in the first person. I'm the only one that's filming these things. There's nobody else here other than the cats, Inky and Stella. Regardless, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that if you saw something that you'd like to see me recreate and do a step-by-step tutorial on, you put the time code in the comments. With all that said, like and subscribe for part 2, and remember, keep writing and drawing. You look crooked. I feel like I have goobers in my nose, but there's no goobers there. Allergies. I'm a professional. I am a professional. I can power through this. If I feel like I got a little spittle on that last again. And take 2, serious acting. Hello there. Shit. Maybe I want to be low. Let's make me have 5 chins. Okay, cool. This is my new dating profile picture. I'm gonna die alone with my cats, and it's okay. I am so not smooth. I am like the least smooth person in the world. I'm so professional. Well, hello there. I'm a professional. Sounds like somebody has a chainsaw outside. It's not Halloween. Jason, is that you?